The S&P 500 has obviously hit a new record high. So did the Nasdaq, and Bitcoin is once again breaking towards a new all-time high. So, we're seeing the traditional market and the crypto market really feeling the love. And, as we are going and approaching September, obviously, we still have quite some time left, about 2 weeks left till we end the month of August. But we're, going into the month of September on a really, really positive note here. But we're going to talk a little bit more on that. I'm going to share my personal thoughts with you guys on that. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP holders. Appreciate all the love that you guys show on a regular day-to-day basis. The price of XRP right now is having a hard time breaking out of an all-time high. Sorry, not an all-time high, above that resistance, which I've discussed on my channel. But let's keep in mind that is a major resistance. The bears are trying their absolute best to keep the price below that key range, because after you see the price push above that level, you do see bulls take control, and I could see, XRP actually reaching a proper all-time high that a lot of people are anticipating. But $3.23 right now, down about 1.8% in USD and about 3.1% in Bitcoin comparative. Valuation at 191.6 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $9.3 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So let's start off with this. So Google search interest for altcoin has hit a highest level since 2021. I did mention this in my Cardano update as well, if you did end up watching that. But you're starting to see a lot of searches happening for altcoins, meaning retail is starting to focus as well. And with the way the dominance is plummeting, with the way Ethereum is going, and again, it shouldn't really be a surprise to any one of us at this point. If you follow the channel every single day, this is something we've been anticipating. Some of these key things to play out did end up playing out, and we are entering an altcoin season, and I've said it in the past, we're already in an altcoin season. Take a look at it on the monthly time frame. That speaks a lot of volume, of course, and I cannot imagine what we could be expecting as we are going into further into the month of August. But so far so good. Really, really liking what I'm seeing here. But spot Ethereum ETF post third best inflows day ever, over $700 million. 3 of the top 6 inflow days since launch have come just this week alone. $3 billion new over past 7 trading sessions on another level. And that's totally, facts, because, we're seeing so much inflows coming in ETH, and with the way the dominance is going down. And, the easiest way to look at it is this. What's happening with the dominance? You can clearly see going down, right? Retesting some of the yearly levels that we haven't seen, obviously, since the beginning of the year. And yet, Bitcoin broke out to a new all-time high, and not even a budge for the dominance. And that is what you want to see when you're an altcoin holder. So very, very exciting stuff here. Take a look at this, though. Is Ripple ready to compete with Swift? Look at this, what Credoc says. I think there is a world where we both coexist. Our customers really just want to be able to send money instantly, cost effectively around the globe. We just need to enable a better customer experience. And this is where XRPL Ledger comes into play. RippleNet specifically comes into play under the ISO standard. And remember, if you understand how RippleNet works, you understand where the XRP native token comes into play. Obviously, a lot of people bring up how it's deflationary, how over time you are going to see XRP, being burned quite a bit, but it needs to be used. Like, these XRP Ledger has been, producing great numbers lately, but it needs to be on another level for, XRP native token to really, get to that burning level that a lot of people want to see. But we can never say never, with the way institutions are coming in towards the crypto space, TradeFi, meeting DeFi, the sky's the limit, in my opinion, especially when you take a look at RWAs and how XRPL Ledger could really help these big entities launch their RWAs and tokenize them, which is where the fun really kicks in. But here, is something that we don't really want to be overlooking. But take a look at the Singapore is taking tokenization from pilots to real world adoption, advancing a regulated finance with greater access, efficiency, and market maturity. Fiona, VP and Managing Director of APAC at Ripple, shares insight with read the edge on how progressive regulation and blockchain innovation on XRPL are driving this shift. And if you want to see and read this article, I would recommend you guys to go on Ripple's page, and you can click this link and kind of go over the entire article. But look what David Schwartz says. The XRPL was built so fees stay low and predictable, just frictions of a cent without a separate gas token. You can pay directly in XRP for any issued asset, avoiding the friction of and hidden cost of buying another token just to transact. XRP is a counterparty free, accessible by all, and used as a bridge asset with real utility for payments, settlements, and liquidity. There we have it. You're actually hearing this from David Schwartz himself. Every transaction on the XRPL uses slash burns XRP. Going back to my comment earlier, we talk about that deflationary aspect to it, but XRPL ledger needs to get to be used at the level where you're seeing trillions of dollars coming on board, where you do see some sort of a magnitude of a move where XRP really is being burned massively. When that really kicks in, that's where we can start talking about triple digit XRP. Until then, we need to realize it's gonna take time. But this right here is something you don't want to ignore coming from the man himself. So it's encouraging to see some newer chains adopt design choices that have been part of XRPL architecture, like deterministic finality and proof of authority based consensus mechanism. It shows there's growing alignment in the industry on the importance of predictable, reliable settlement for financial applications without expensive validation. Looking forward to the next phase of XRPL innovation, of bringing more programmability, compliance, grade capabilities, and deeper liquidity for institutional use. And to those just getting started, welcome to the party. The crypto tent is only getting bigger. A very, very interesting tweet from David Schwartz, and I would recommend you guys to read this entire thing, but take a look at what he says at the beginning. We've been seeing more and more players in the payment and stablecoin space launch their own blockchains. To me, that's a clear sign that the market sees blockchain as a core financial infrastructure, something we've believed in and have been building towards on the XRP ledger over 13 years. There we have it, guys. There we have it. And to all the haters, I'm pretty sure the haters are going to be speechless when they are reading this. And speaking about that, just a reminder that Franklin Templeton Spot ETF, not a derivative ETF, Spot XRP ETF, has a final decision deadline by the SEC on September 9th. So next month. And, could we see a Spot ETF getting approved, or are they going to delay it? If this gets approved, that would be quite something. And, obviously in terms of AUM, Franklin Templeton is one of the biggest asset managers. So very, very big stuff. So, obviously the next month is huge, without a doubt. September is going to be a big month. Speaking about September now, as we're starting to see, in terms of people predicting on the rate cut, then now there's like almost 100% chance that we'll see a rate cut happening. I tweeted about this just 24 hours back. I personally think now we're already starting to see the market reacting in a positive way going into September. We might actually see the day of the announcement, even if it's a rate cut after so many years. Like obviously it's been quite some time since we've seen a rate cut. I think we're gonna see the market actually see a retracement rather than it pumping. But I think it's going to be short-lived, and then we are going to see the market picking up and ending off the year on a positive note. That's how I'm currently looking at it, based off of the way the month of August is looking for this space. And let me know in the comments if you guys agree with it or if you guys disagree with that. But look at this. XRP is setting the stage for its next big expansion. Korea's biggest exchange is on fire. XRP pair KRW just pulled $644 million in 24-hour trading volume. History shows what happens when Asia leads. Now, if you're looking at the dominance as stated earlier in the video, we are starting to see the dominance continue to fall, which is great to see. Bitcoin broke towards a new all-time high. Even though we're seeing a retracement for Bitcoin right now, I do personally believe that, we will fill this wick in. So that's that. But if you're looking at XRP right now, still ranging around this level. You can see once again, we retested at $3.35, not exactly at $3.40. As I stated earlier in this update, we are seeing the bears trying to keep the price below this key range, because once we get back above here, I personally believe we are on to our yearly highs. Not only just that, but actually reaching an official all-time high that a lot of people want to see. Obviously, the official all-time high is already reached, but unofficial all-time high of $3.82 is the target that a lot of people are eyeing. And I'm breaking after that. I think that's where the headlines will really start coming in. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Thank you for your support. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.